There might be some new noise coming to North County, San Diego. Your electricity bill may be going up in the next few months, and San Diego is ranked as one of the top real estate markets in 2025. We're going to get into all that in this new show we call, I don't know, fill in the blank. You guys need to help me out here, where we're going to cover a little bit of more news, what's going on around town. Obviously, we're going to include real estate. We're definitely going to continue our market updates, but I want to see if this is something you guys are interested in. So let me know what we should name this right below. As always, I'm Chris Erickson, and we got a real estate crew right here in San Diego. If you guys are thinking about making a move, you got some questions, you want to start that conversation, all of our contact info is right below. So feel free to reach out. You could also just download one of our guides right down below. Get you some insight into the buying process, everything you need to know about buying a house. So go check that out. But let's jump into it right now. So the first story, the county did approve new commercial flights going from Palomar. It's going to start on February 13th. And there's only going to be one destination as of now. But American Eagle, which is a regional service of American Airlines, is going to start flights in the coming months. The main route and the only route that they're going to have right now is going to be offered by American Eagle, like I just mentioned. But they're going to depart at 6:15 a.m. and 12:35 p.m., returning at 11:50 a.m. and coming back at 6:30 p.m. And so if you're living in this flight path, are you going to be affected by any sort of noise? Obviously, if you're living anywhere in the flight path right now, if you're living in Aviara or Southern Carlsbad or any of the areas over here, Bresci Ranch, as you go east going into San Marcos, yes, those flight paths are going to continue. If you've lived here for a long time, obviously, you've noticed that. But they're saying with these new flights, this certain kind of jet that American is going to use are actually quieter than the business jets that operate there now. He also said the jets will become airborne quicker and climb faster than older planes, which may help further reduce noise. And they're also going to install 2 new noise monitors. So they're going to check those out throughout the year, see if noise is going up. But I want to hear what you guys think about what is going on right there, especially if you're living in this area. I don't know what times flights go right now, but 6:15 seems a little bit early for that to be going on. I was just at the San Diego airport and we had a 6:15 flight, but they did not let us take off until 6:30 because there was a noise ordinance down there that didn't allow us to actually go. So we were on the tarmac ready to go. I think we might have been the first flight of the morning, but they didn't let us go and actually start flying until 6:30. So will this open up more flights, more commercial flights going forward? I guess this is kind of like the first test to see what happens, but it could potentially add more going forward. Next up, a rate hike has been approved for SDG&E, so your bill is likely going to go up in 2025. Rate hikes could start as early as January 1st, so maybe you have already seen it on your recent bill. But how much is your rate going to potentially go up? So the California Utilities Commission on Thursday approved SDG&E's request to increase customers' electricity bill by 2.6% next year, which is the equivalent to about $4.38 per month. So if we take that $4.38 per month, 4.38 times 12, it's going to put you about another $53 per year. Now, natural gas customers are going to see a 1.8% increase, or about $1.02. So another $12 on top of that. Look at about a $65 increase for the year. But the approval also sets increases for the next 3 years. SDG&E said they will be alerting customers in the coming weeks how and when that decision will impact their bills. So keep eye out for that. Obviously, if you're living in San Diego, you're going to be under SDG&E. So it's definitely going to affect everybody living here. Now, one thing you can do to save a little bit of money is sign up for Ohm Connect. And what you do, you pop in your zip code to see if they are available there. And it says, okay, cool, you're eligible. And then it's going to have you fill this out. But my wife and I, we've been part of this program for the past few years. You don't save a ton of money, but it is a cool, they kind of gamify it a little bit. So you get in touch with them. They're going to connect your SDG account with them. And what happens, you'll get an alert on these specific days. Maybe it's the times that you do have a little bit more high energy use during those hotter days during the summer, that kind of thing. But they're going to send you an alert. And if you don't go over a specific amount of energy use, you get like little rewards. So they do gamify it a little bit. You'll get that alert. And then you could decide if you want to participate. What we do, if we're not doing much, maybe we'll keep all the lights off. We won't be watching TV. We'll have everything kind of shut down. And it's just a way to save a little bit of cash. So go check that out. Maybe save a few bucks on your bill. And now next up, San Diego is expected to be one of 2025's hottest real estate markets. Now this is according to Zillow right here, their 2025 hottest markets. We're obviously behind the top 18, including Buffalo, including St. Louis, Philly. You have Richmond, Virginia Beach, Miami, Oklahoma City. San Diego here is coming in the 19th spot, up 10 spots compared to last year. So last year we were 29. And so they're asking, okay, what makes the market hot in here? They're going through factors including expected home value growth, shorter listing durations, rising homeowner occupancy, and housing demand outpacing new construction. Because obviously here in San Diego, we don't have a ton of new construction. In future videos, I'll bring up some new construction communities that are going on right now, kind of where they are in those phases, what kind of price points they're looking at, just to give you guys an idea of what is actually going on around here. But one of the biggest things they're saying right here in why they are ranking as the hottest market are usually those starved for housing inventory, the number of homes on the market, which we've seen definitely here in San Diego over the past few years. There hasn't been a ton of homes coming up on the market. And here is what they based it on. Like I mentioned, it's based on the forecasted home value appreciation for this coming November and the rate of increase over the previous year, how many days a typical home was listed last year, and the projected change in share of homes occupied by homeowners. And so where are we in San Diego right now? All right, so let's jump into here to see where we stand right now. The market action index, this is answers how's the market by comparing rate of sales versus inventory. And the bottom line here is last month. Here is this month, obviously jumping up a little bit. Now for a little perspective compared to past years, when we did look at this chart, sometimes it was all the way over here in the 100 marker. Definitely skewing a lot more towards a seller's market. Now we haven't passed over this line where they do have it set up as going into a buyer's market, but it was definitely a lot closer many times this year than it has been over the past few years. But let's just check out a few metrics to see where we are and where we have compared to in the past few years, starting off with median list price. So it has been, let me just get to the 7-day average just to show you a little bit more volatility here. And it's hopping around every week, but look at only the past few months, starting from October going to now. It did pop down a little bit right there. Where'd it go? 1.2 million right there in December, the end of December. And then it did pop back up in January, but sent like 1.3 million for that entire time. But you can see that flattening right there. You don't see that a ton. You saw it back here in 2022. This is when interest rates did rise quite a bit, but it's not on this big upward trajectory like we did see in 2023. And as average days on market goes up, it is indicating that we are towards a little bit more of a buyer's market. Now, as we're looking at the 90-day right here, it's at 89 days on the market, and it did pop down off its high in the 7-day up here. I went up to 107, which is kind of typical for the end of the year. You'll see that pop up, days on market. And this isn't necessarily the days on market that you see from closed homes. Sometimes that's going to be quicker. These are homes that are actually still on the market that have not sold. The trend lines is what we're looking at. If it's going up, we're going towards a little bit more of a buyer's market, a little bit more of a balanced market, and gives buyers out there a little more time when we're not in this frenzy of when we did see these troughs down here back in 2022. And this is what we'll be keeping a close eye on going into the early part of this year to see where we end up. You can see right here, let's just go with the 7-day average because it did bounce off the bottom here. Now we're going back up. Early January, the very bottom, as we see some of those expired listings that did pop off last year or withdrawn listings, this number, and just normal listings that we do see during this time, this number should start trending up over the next few months. So going back to other years, we're above January of 2024. We're above January of 2023, 2022, and 2021. So we have seen the most homes on any January as far as the number of homes on the market right now. So we will definitely keep an eye on that. If the number of homes goes up and continues to go up over past years, that's a good sign for the market here. And days on market, if that continues to go up, it gives us a good indicator of where we are with supply and demand. So Are we going towards a seller's market? Are we going towards a buyer's market? And what does that do to prices? Obviously, what we've seen over the past few years, limited supply, ton of buyers, prices went up a lot. Now, are we going to see a drop in prices? That's where you're going to have to stay tuned right here, because we're going to keep you updated on what's going on right here in the San Diego real estate market. I'm Chris Erickson. We got a real estate crew right here in San Diego. If you're thinking about making a move, you want to start that conversation, all of our contact info is right below, because we got your back when making the move here in San Diego.